The stars were quiet, too quiet. In the dark reaches of space, far beyond Earth's solar system, a small alien colony orbited a dying sun. The world below had once thrived, tall crystalline towers, gleaming cities, and an energy that flowed like light through the veins of its people. But now, smoke rose from the remains of shattered structures. Fires flickered in the distance, and the air was thick with fear. Zyra, the colony's chief scientist, hovered over the communications console, her three-fingered hands trembling. The monitor blinked with a signal from far across the galaxy. She read the message again and again, hoping the data might somehow be a mistake. But it was not. SOS, SOS, humanity, please respond. Void marauders approaching, colony doomed. The words were simple, clear, terrifying. Zyra knew the reputation of the species she was calling. Humans. They were whispered about across nearby star systems. Stories said humans had survived planets no other species could endure, fought wars where victory seemed impossible, and adapted to threats that would have destroyed stronger, faster species. They were Earth's warriors, the Valkyrie division, known as the deadliest fighters in the galaxy. And now, Zyra was begging for their help. On Earth, in the vast command room of the International Space Defense Council, alarms buzzed softly as a new signal appeared. Commander Aiden Reyes leaned forward, scanning the alien message. He was tall, broad-shouldered, with eyes that seemed to weigh every calculation, every risk instantly. "This isn't a trap?" asked Lieutenant Mara Chen, her voice tense. "We don't even know these aliens. They could be trying to lure us into danger." Commander Reyes shook his head slowly. "If it's real, they're in trouble. And if it's real, no one else will go to help them. We do. That's what humans do." Across the room, analysts whispered quietly, comparing star maps, checking the trajectory of the message. The Void Marauders, an enemy so feared that their name was enough to silence conversations, were known for leaving entire star systems empty of life. They did not negotiate. They did not pause. They destroyed everything in their path, and now they were coming for this alien colony. Aiden tapped his communicator. "Prepare the Valkyrie division. We leave in 12 hours. I want full readiness. Space armor, weapons, ships prepped, everything." This isn't just another mission. This is a rescue at the edge of the galaxy, and humans are the only ones who can make a difference. Within minutes, the Valkyrie soldiers began their preparations. Humans from every corner of Earth, trained in extreme survival, combat, and space warfare, assembled in the launch bays. Each soldier carried not just weapons, but a reputation that preceded them. They were disciplined, fearless, and known for improvisation in impossible situations. Sergeant Lena Voss walked among them, checking equipment. "Remember," she said, voice firm but calm, "we are going in to save lives. That's our mission. Fight if we must, protect if we can. But we do not leave anyone behind." The soldiers nodded, a silent promise passing between them. They were humans. They did not back down. They never had. As the Valkyrie fleet prepared to launch, the aliens watched from their far-off colony. Zyra and her people gathered on observation platforms, eyes wide, hearts pounding. They had never seen humans in person before, only holograms, stories, and legends. Now these beings, strong, confident, unyielding, were coming for them, and already hope stirred in their hearts. The Valkyrie ships ignited their engines, streaking across the void. Light bent around them as they entered hyperspace, a silent wave of Earth's deadliest warriors racing toward a distant star system. Inside one of the lead ships, Commander Reyes stared at the stars ahead. "We don't know the enemy," he said quietly to his second-in-command, Lieutenant Chen. "But humans adapt. That's why they survive where others fail." Mara nodded, checking weapon systems. "I hope the aliens are ready. They won't understand what's coming." "They will," Aiden replied. "We'll make sure they do." Meanwhile, across the galaxy, the Void Marauders moved with silent intent. They were shadows in the void, almost invisible yet deadly. Their ships were jagged, black, and bristling with weapons. They did not speak. They did not hesitate. Planets fell under their attacks without warning, entire civilizations erased in weeks, sometimes days. And now they were coming for the alien colony. Back on the alien world, Zyra turned to the colony's leaders. "The humans, they are coming," she whispered. "We may survive. Maybe, just maybe, we have a chance." Her words were met with cautious hope. The aliens were not warriors. They were scientists, engineers, thinkers. Combat was foreign, terrifying. But the humans were a different breed entirely. Their history was written in survival against impossible odds, and that made all the difference. Hours passed. The alien colony worked feverishly to repair what they could: shields, communications, emergency shelters. Even small tasks took on a new importance with humans on the way. The colony's morale, once shattered, began to rebuild. Then a new blip appeared on the monitor: human ships emerging from hyperspace, engines blazing, cutting across the alien sky like fire. The aliens gasped. They had seen starships before, but nothing like this. The humans did not merely arrive. They entered space with confidence, precision, and power. From orbit, the Valkyrie fleet spread out, scanning the area. Drones flew ahead, mapping the terrain and searching for survivors. Soldiers suited in armor that gleamed with Earth technology floated in zero gravity, weapons ready. There was no hesitation, no fear, only a quiet, deadly focus. Zyra could barely speak. They are magnificent," she said. The aliens around her nodded, eyes wide with awe. These humans were unlike anything they had imagined. They were not just soldiers, they were legend made flesh, hope in human form. Commander Reyes activated the fleet's communication channel. "This is Earth. We received your message. We are here. We will save your people. Stay calm and follow our instructions. We move fast, we move smart, and no one is left behind." A cheer rose quietly among the aliens, disbelief mixing with relief. Humans had come. Against all odds, humanity had answered the call. And in the distant void, the shadows of the Void Marauders drew closer, unaware that the deadliest warriors from Earth were about to enter the field. They had destroyed worlds before, but they had never faced humans. Sergeant Voss looked at her soldiers, her expression grim but determined. "Remember this," she said. "We are humans, we survive, we fight, and wherever we go we bring hope. Let them see who they face. Let them know no one beats us when lives are at stake." The fleet descended toward the alien planet. Fire still burned, smoke rose, and fear lingered. But with humans arriving, something had changed. The hopelessness that had gripped the colony began to fade. Somewhere deep in the alien city, Zyra whispered a prayer. "Please let them be enough." Commander Rey's voice cut across the comms again, calm and certain. "We are humans. We will be enough. Always." And with that, the Valkyrie division prepared to make first contact with a world in peril. Their arrival would mark the beginning of a war unlike any the galaxy had seen, and the aliens would soon learn what humanity could do when faced with the impossible. The stars themselves seemed to shift in anticipation. A new chapter in the galaxy's history was about to begin. Humans had arrived, and nothing would ever be the same again. The alien colony had never seen soldiers like the humans. From orbit, the Valkyrie division deployed in perfect formation. Dropships cut through the atmosphere, glowing trails of energy marking their descent. Soldiers inside the armored hulls moved with calm precision. They were not panicked, not hesitant. They were ready, and that alone sent a shiver of awe through the alien population below. On the ground, Commander Reyes and Sergeant Lena Voss led the first wave. The alien streets were cracked and scorched. Fires burned at the edges of broken buildings, smoke curling into the alien sky. Zyra and a group of scientists and civilians huddled behind the few intact structures, peering through protective barriers. "They are different," Zyra whispered. "Bigger, stronger, faster, and not afraid of anything." Voss surveyed the area, eyes sharp. Stay calm, keep low, move fast, the marauders could be anywhere. And they were. From the shadows of a nearby canyon, the void marauders emerged. Their jagged black ships descended, their presence like a shadow stretching over the land. They were faster than any alien fleet, their weapons precise and lethal. They had killed civilizations before, but now they faced something new, humans who refused to be afraid. The first shots rang out. Plasma fire sizzled through the air, striking buildings, but the humans responded instantly. Soldiers rolled behind cover, returning fire with a combination of alien-supplied weapons and their own Earth-made guns. They moved in squads, coordinated, adapting to every attack. One human soldier, Corporal Jerk Holt, led a team through a narrow alley. The marauders tried to ambush them, but Holt had anticipated the trap. He threw a small device that exploded in a blinding flash, disorienting the enemy. His team charged, knocking back marauders with quick, precise strikes. Zyra's jaw dropped. They are unbelievable," she murmured. "Yes," Commander Reyes said quietly. "They are humans." The marauders regrouped, attacking from multiple directions. Entire squads of aliens froze in panic. They had never been under real fire, never faced something they could not comprehend. But the humans adapted instantly. Lieutenant Mara Chen coordinated with drones overhead. "I've mapped their positions. We can cut off their advance if we flank from the East Canyon." Voss nodded. "Do it. Keep civilians behind us. We hit hard and fast. Don't give them a chance to regroup." Within minutes, human squads moved like a single organism. Some provided suppressing fire. Others flanked the marauders, cutting off escape routes. Aliens watched in disbelief as humans turned the tides of battle that should have overwhelmed them. A young alien child clung to Zyra, trembling. "Will they survive?" he whispered. "They will," Zyra said, gripping his shoulder. "Humans, they always survive." Indeed, they did. Holt and his team encountered a Marauder strike unit attempting to infiltrate a damaged energy station. The aliens defending the station were frozen in fear. Holt barked orders in rapid human speech, pointing, gesturing, and moving in perfect coordination. Humans and aliens together struck the Marauders with precision, using traps, grenades, and clever maneuvers. Within moments, the strike unit was defeated, some Marauders retreating in confusion. Back at the central square, Commander Reyes assessed the battlefield. "We need to show them control," he said. "If the Marauders see chaos, they will exploit it. We maintain order. We fight smart." Across the colony, other human squads were doing exactly that. They set up barricades, positioned energy shields, and guided terrified aliens into safer areas. Humans were not just warriors. They were leaders, teachers, and protectors all at once. The Marauders were ruthless. They struck again and again, their numbers overwhelming by sheer volume. But humans had something the Marauders did not expect: ingenuity and adaptability. Where the enemy attacked from the air, humans deployed electromagnetic nets that disrupted ships' engines. Where the Marauders tried to ambush, humans used decoys and holograms, drawing them into traps. Aliens began to fight alongside them, slowly gaining confidence. Zyra herself helped operate a shield generator under human guidance, watching as Marauders were thrown back by energy pulses she had never dreamed could be wielded in combat. Hours passed. The ground shook with explosions. Smoke and dust filled the air. And yet the humans pressed forward. No one panicked. No one hesitated. They moved, thought, and fought as one. A squad of Marauders cornered a small group of humans near a crumbled tower. It seemed the humans were trapped, but Sergeant Voss stayed calm. She activated a compact device, a combination of human engineering and alien energy. It emitted a high-frequency pulse, temporarily disabling Marauder shields. With a swift and brutal strike, her squad eliminated the attackers. Not a single human was lost. The aliens watching could not believe it. They had feared annihilation. death at the hands of these creatures. But now they saw humans fight with courage and intelligence, not merely strength. They saw humans turn hopeless situations into victories. They felt hope rise where there had been none. Zyra turned to the others around her. We may survive this," she said, disbelief in her voice. They are amazing. Humans, they fight like no one else." Commander Reyes, observing from a hover platform above the battlefield, said to himself, "We are humans, and this is what we do: protect, fight, adapt, survive." The Marauders were not defeated yet. They had withdrawn temporarily, regrouping in orbit. But their retreat was cautious. They had seen something they had never expected: humans who were not afraid, who could think, adapt, and strike back with deadly efficiency. Zyra and the alien population cautiously emerged from hiding. Fire still burned, but the streets were not completely under enemy control. Civilians began to assist under human guidance, helping with barricades, tending to the wounded, and preparing for the next wave. Corporal Holt checked in with the command. "Marauders are regrouping. They'll be back soon, but we've shown them they are not invincible." "Good," Commander Reyes replied. "We need them to learn that lesson. They underestimate humans at their own peril." The aliens whispered among themselves. Zyra overheard one elder say, "They are saviors." Not just warriors, saviors. The night sky over the colony was filled with smoke, laser fire, and explosions. But through it all, humans moved with calm precision, each action calculated, each decision sharp. The Marauders might have had numbers, but humans had something far more powerful: strategy, courage, and unbreakable resolve. By the time the first dawn broke over the alien world, the battle had slowed. The Marauders had pulled back to orbit, wounded but not defeated. Humans stood victorious on the ground, unbroken, alert, and ready. Zyra walked among the humans, observing them as they coordinated recovery efforts. She could not believe the difference they had made in just a few hours. I have never seen anything like this," she said, almost to herself. Sergeant Voss approached her. "It's what humans do. We don't give up, we don't panic, we survive. And when others are in danger, we fight for them too." Zyra nodded, tears welling in her eyes. She realized then that survival was not only about technology or numbers or even intelligence. Survival was about heart, courage, and the refusal to quit. And humans had all of that in abundance. Commander Reyes addressed the alien leaders. "This is only the beginning. The Marauders will return, but now you know what humans are capable of. You've seen what we can do, and if you follow our lead, we can survive this." The aliens nodded, hope shining in their eyes for the first time in weeks. They began to understand that the humans were more than just soldiers. They were a force that inspired courage, a living symbol of what determination and resilience could achieve. Above them, in the void, the Marauders observed silently. They had faced countless civilizations, destroyed many, and expected to crush this one with ease. But now they had seen humans in action, and that was a mistake they would regret. Commander Reyes looked up at the enemy fleet above. "They think this is easy. They will learn soon enough. Humans fight, humans survive, and we never fight alone." The humans prepared for the next wave, calm and resolute. Every squad, every soldier, every action was precise. They were humans, and this was their way. The battle for the alien colony had begun, and the Marauders had no idea what they were about to face. The alien colony was quiet, but not for long. After the first skirmish, the survivors gathered in the central square, their faces etched with exhaustion and fear. Fire still burned, buildings remained damaged, and the shadows of the void Marauders lingered in the sky. The humans moved among them, calm and deliberate, showing no sign of panic. Commander Aiden Reyes surveyed the colony from a raised platform. He had learned much about the Marauders in the first battle. They were ruthless, fast, and brutal. But he also knew one thing: humans could adapt to anything. And if they could teach the aliens even a fraction of their tactics, they had a chance to survive the next attack. Listen up, Reyes said, addressing both human soldiers and alien leaders. The marauders will return, and when they do, they will not hesitate. They will attack with everything they have, but we are not helpless. We have technology, strategy, and courage. And I promise you this, we will fight and we will survive. Zyra stepped forward, her voice trembling. But we have no experience in combat. We are scientists, engineers. We do not fight. Voss smiled gently. Then you will learn not to fight like us, but to fight smart. You will survive because you follow our lead. Fear is your enemy. Humans do not give fear the power to control them. The alien population listened, hesitant but curious. Over the next few hours, human soldiers began training small squads of aliens. They showed them how to use energy shields, set up barriers, and respond quickly to attacks. Humans demonstrated movement in squads, covering each other, and using terrain for advantage. They taught simple, adaptable tactics that even the most timid could understand. Young aliens who had never lifted a weapon before learned to handle small blasters, move quietly, and anticipate attacks. Elderly aliens, once frozen with fear, operated power generators and energy grids under human guidance. Every alien who trained gained confidence with each passing hour. Meanwhile, the Valkyrie soldiers were not idle. They patrolled the perimeter, scanning the skies for incoming marauder scouts. Engineers among the humans worked quickly to reinforce damaged structures, using both alien technology and human ingenuity. They adapted alien weapons, adding modifications that increased efficiency and range. Improvisation is key, Sergeant Voss said to her squad. The marauders are not predictable, but neither are we. We find a way every time. Corporal Jerk Holt led a team through the colony streets, checking barricades and training civilian volunteers to act as guides and spotters. Your job is simple, he said. Watch, report, and move when told. Humans will handle the fight, but your eyes make the difference. As night fell, the alien colony had transformed. Streets that had once been chaotic were now organized and defended. Fires were contained, barricades strong, and civilians moved with purpose rather than fear. For the first time since the marauders arrived, hope filled the air. But hope did not mean complacency. Commander Reyes gathered his human leaders for a strategy session. The marauders are smart, they adapt. They won't just attack as before, they will bring their full armada. We cannot meet them head-on. We need traps, ambushes, and decoys. We need to strike where they least expect it. Lieutenant Mara Chen pointed at a holographic map of the asteroid field surrounding the colony. We can use the asteroids as cover. Narrow paths, ambush points. Their ships are fast, but in tight spaces, humans will have the advantage. Good, Reyes said. We will divide forces. Some will defend the colony. Others will set traps in orbit and the asteroid belt, and a strike team will attack their supply lines. They will not expect humans to hit them there. The plan was bold, dangerous, but humans thrived on danger. Days passed as the humans and aliens prepared. Every movement was deliberate, every resource optimized. Civilians carried supplies, rebuilt walls, and learned emergency procedures. Scientists who had never seen combat before studied weapon systems and energy shields under human guidance. And the humans, they trained, tested, and innovated. Small drones were modified into sentry units. Energy pulses were enhanced to disable marauder ships temporarily. Explosive devices were rigged with sensors, ready to catch enemy forces in deadly traps. Through it all, the aliens watched in amazement. Humans moved like a living network, each individual anticipating the needs of others, each soldier aware of the battlefield as a whole. Humans were not just strong or skilled, they were disciplined, intelligent, and unshakable in purpose. Zyra approached Commander Reyes, her voice quiet. How do you do it? How do you remain calm when everything is at risk? Reyes looked at her, eyes steady. It is not about not feeling fear. Everyone feels fear, But humans, we use it. Fear tells us what is important, we protect it, and then we act no matter how afraid we are. That is why we survive. That night, as humans patrolled the perimeter and aliens rested behind shields, a new sound filled the void. The Marauder Armada had arrived. Thousands of ships, black and jagged, spread across the star system like a storm. Their engines glowed menacingly and their presence was overwhelming, but the humans did not panic. The aliens looked to them for guidance and humans exuded calm determination. Commander Reyes activated the communication channel. "They are here. Stay ready. Remember your training. Humans fight, humans survive, and humans protect. You will see it tonight." The first wave of marauders descended on the colony. They struck quickly, lasers and energy pulses tearing through the sky, but the humans were ready. Drones fired first, intercepting attacks and creating confusion among enemy ranks. Traps detonated, sending marauder ships spinning out of control. Humans moved through the streets, coordinated and lethal, guiding aliens to safety while striking at key enemy positions. Sergeant Voss led a team to intercept a marauder strike unit heading for the colony's central power hub. Using improvised explosives and energy pulses, they disabled the attackers' shields and forced them into retreat. Not a single civilian was lost under their guidance. Corporal Holt and his squad ambushed marauders moving along the canyon paths, using narrow terrain to their advantage. Every strike was precise, every move calculated. The enemy faltered, unable to anticipate human tactics. The aliens watched in awe. One young engineer who had been frozen in fear just days before shouted as she operated a shield generator, "I can do this. I understand now." "Yes," Holt replied over comms. "You are part of the fight. We protect each other, humans and aliens together." Hours passed. The marauders pressed relentlessly, but humans adapted faster. They reinforced damaged areas, redeployed forces, and used every advantage available. Even in exhaustion, their minds stayed sharp, their focus unbroken. Zyra moved through the streets, observing the humans. They were not invincible, but they were unstoppable in will. Every time a marauder attacked, humans responded with courage, intelligence, and ingenuity. The aliens began to believe they could survive this war, and that belief mattered. By dawn, the first wave had been repelled. Marauder ships retreated to orbit, damaged and disorganized. The humans had not only defended the colony, they had taught it to fight, even in the smallest way. Aliens who had cowered in fear now moved with confidence, defending barricades, operating shields, and following orders with determination. Commander Reyes gathered his team. "They learned something tonight. They saw what humans do, and they will remember it. But the marauders are still strong. We prepare, we innovate, and we fight smarter. Next time we strike back harder." The alien leaders approached him, gratitude and awe in their eyes. You have changed everything. Our people, we will survive because of you." Reyes looked out at the recovering colony, the humans moving among aliens, the wounded being treated, and the defenses being strengthened. "No," he said quietly, "you survive because you chose to fight. Humans showed you the way, but the courage that is yours." Zyra realized then that humanity was not just about strength or skill. It was about heart, determination, and the refusal to give up, even when the odds were impossible. And the marauders had no idea what they were about to face. Above them, in orbit, the enemy fleet regrouped. They had underestimated humans once. They would do so again, and again it would be their undoing. Commander Reyes activated the communication channel one last time before the marauders struck again. "They will return," he said, "and when they do, we will be ready. Humans fight. Humans survive. Humans protect. And anyone who faces us will learn that the hard way." The aliens listened, hope blazing in their eyes. For the first time, they believed in survival, not just for themselves, but for their entire civilization. And that belief, instilled by humans, was as powerful as any weapon. The final battle was coming. The Marauders would not hold back, but neither would the humans. And the galaxy would soon witness the unyielding spirit of Earth's deadliest warriors. The sky above the alien colony burned with the light of 1,000 Marauder ships. From orbit, the enemy fleet stretched across the darkness, black and jagged, engines glowing like angry stars. Every Marauder vessel was bristling with weapons. The shadows of the Void Marauders hung heavy over the colony, a silent promise of annihilation. But on the ground, the humans were calm. They had spent days preparing, training the aliens, fortifying defenses, and planning every possible scenario. Every squad knew their role. Every soldier knew the stakes. They were ready. Commander Aiden Reyes stood at the central command hub, overlooking the preparations. "This is it," he said. "They think we are weak. They think we can be broken. They are wrong. Humans fight, humans survive, and humans protect. Remember that." Sergeant Lena Voss nodded beside him. "Let's show them why they should have never underestimated us." The Valkyrie division split into teams. Some would defend the colony directly. Others would move through asteroid fields to strike Marauder supply ships, and a small strike team would board the largest enemy vessel. Humans had not only prepared for defense, they had prepared for decisive attack. The first wave of Marauders descended on the colony. Energy beams struck the ground, tearing through buildings and setting fires. Aliens panicked at first, but humans guided them, moving with precision. "Stay behind the shields, follow our lead," Voss shouted. Human squads intercepted Marauder units, using rapid strikes and traps. Explosions lit the streets as humans pushed back the invaders with skill and speed. In the asteroid belt, Lieutenant Mara Chen led a squad of human pilots. They darted through narrow paths, using asteroids for cover, ambushing Marauder frigates, and disabling their engines with precise electromagnetic pulses. Ships spun out of control, crashing into debris. Marauder pilots were stunned. They had never faced enemies who could think this fast, adapt this quickly, and strike so decisively. On the ground, Corporal Jerk Holt led his squad to the colony's central energy hub. Marauders had targeted it to disable shields, but Holt had anticipated their attack. Explosive charges had been set in advance. As the first wave of Marauders moved in, Holt detonated the charges, sending the attackers flying in every direction. Humans struck immediately, clearing the streets and rescuing trapped civilians. Zyra moved among the alien defenders, watching them fight with growing confidence. What had been terrified, untrained civilians were now organized, moving as a unit under human guidance. Even the youngest could operate energy turrets or relay critical messages. Aliens shouted in triumph as Marauders retreated or were neutralized. In orbit, Commander Reyes coordinated the strike team boarding the Marauder flagship. Aboard dropships, humans moved with silent precision. Using stealth pods, they penetrated the hull of the largest enemy ship. Marauder soldiers were caught off guard by humans appearing inside their own vessel. Quick, coordinated strikes disabled critical systems. Energy conduits exploded, sending Marauders scrambling. Within minutes, the ship was crippled, its engines disabled, its weapons offline. Back on the colony, the tide of battle had turned. Humans pushed forward, combining strategy, strength, and ingenuity. Marauders, who had once struck fear into civilizations, now faced an enemy that did not hesitate, did not panic, and never retreated. Humans led the counterattack with unmatched efficiency, striking at every weak point. A Marauder warship fired a massive energy beam at the colony, intending to destroy the central hub. Voss activated a human-modified shield array, deflecting the attack into a group of smaller Marauder ships. They exploded in a brilliant fireball, sending debris raining down. Aliens cheered, their spirits lifted by the humans' unwavering courage. Corporal Holt led a squad through the rubble-strewn streets, rescuing civilians and eliminating enemy units. He paused, observing the alien defenders working beside humans. "They are learning fast," he said. "By the time this is over, they'll know how to fight for themselves too," Commander Reyes watched from above. "They have to. The marauders won't stop, but humans lead, humans protect, humans fight, and humans survive. That's what they will remember." Hours passed. The marauder fleet began to falter. Their ships were disabled, destroyed, or forced to retreat. Marauder soldiers, confused by the humans' tactics, panicked under the relentless assault. The humans pressed forward with a precision that made victory inevitable. Then came the final push. Reyes, Voss, and Holt led a combined force of humans and alien defenders against the Marauder command ship hovering above the colony. They had cut its shields and disrupted communications, but the ship was massive and heavily armed. Every human knew the risk. They might not survive, but none hesitated. "Move fast, strike hard, no hesitation," Reyes shouted. The attack began. Humans infiltrated the ship using stealth pods, disabling systems, setting explosives, and engaging Marauder soldiers with unmatched skill. On the colony below, humans coordinated with aliens to divert reinforcements, creating chaos among enemy ranks. Energy beams, explosions, and fire filled the skies and streets. Marauder ships fell one by one. Aliens fired alongside humans, inspired by their courage. The command ship's hull cracked, its engines failed, and the remaining Marauder soldiers surrendered or fled. The final blow came from the strike team inside the command ship. Holt and his squad detonated the core, sending a massive shockwave through the vessel. It exploded in a brilliant cascade of fire and debris, scattering the remaining Marauder fleet. Silence followed the destruction. Smoke rose from the battlefield. Fires burned in some areas, but the colony had survived. The Marauders were defeated. The humans stood victorious, battered but unbroken. Zyra stepped forward, awe in her eyes. You saved us all," she said to Commander Reyes. He smiled, exhausted but steady. "No," he replied. "You survived because you learned to fight, because you had courage. Humans showed you the way. That is all we do. We lead, we protect, we inspire. The rest, that is yours." Sergeant Voss looked out over the recovering city. "They will tell stories of this day, not just about humans, but about courage, hope, and the refusal to give up. That is what makes us strong." Commander Reyes activated the communication channel to the remaining Marauder forces. "This is Earth's Valkyrie division. You attacked a world under our protection and failed. Leave this system. Never return. Humanity fights and we survive, and any who face us will learn the same lesson." The Marauder fleet, battered and demoralized, retreated into the void. The aliens watched as the shadows of the enemy vanished, leaving their sky clear for the first time in weeks. Zyra gathered her people. "Look at them," she said, gesturing to the humans standing among the survivors. "They are not just warriors, they are hope, they are strength. And they will leave, but they have changed us forever." Commander Reyes addressed the colony one last time. "The Marauders will not stop attacking the galaxy, but you now know what humans are capable of. You know that courage, intelligence, and determination can overcome even the greatest threat. Protect each other, fight if you must, and remember what you have seen." The humans prepared to leave. Dropships lifted off, engines blazing, taking them back into orbit. Aliens waved, some cheering, some weeping in relief. The Valkyrie division accelerated into hyperspace, disappearing among the stars as silently and suddenly as they had arrived. On board the lead ship, Commander Reyes looked back at the recovering colony. "We did what we came to do. We protect, we fight, we survive, and we leave hope behind. That is humanity." Sergeant Voss added quietly, "And they will remember it. Every civilization we touch, they will remember humans." Zyra, standing with her fellow aliens, whispered a quiet prayer of thanks. "The galaxy has seen the humans, and it will never be the same." Somewhere far beyond the colony, other civilizations received news of the battle. Rumors spread quickly. Humans had arrived in a distant system and destroyed the fleet of the Void Marauders. They had not only defended a helpless colony but had inspired hope, courage, and unity. Across the stars, beings began to whisper the same words. Where humans go, hope follows, and no enemy lasts long. The Valkyrie division vanished into the void, leaving only stories, memories, and a legend that would endure for generations. The alien colony rebuilt, stronger and more confident than before, carrying with them the lesson humans had imparted. Survival was not just about strength, it was about courage, intelligence, and the refusal to surrender. And humanity. Humanity had once again proven that wherever they appeared, even at the edge of the galaxy, they brought more than weapons. They brought the unyielding spirit that no enemy could destroy. The stars were quiet now, but for humans, the call of duty would never end. Somewhere else another SOS might appear, another threat might rise, but the Valkyrie division would always answer. They were humans, they were unstoppable, and they would always fight.